Today, we're going to be talking about contact drivers, or sometimes called intents, contact reasons, or just why your customer is reaching out. Besides being a good way to keep up with customer trends, contact drivers give you a ton of information about how your customers perceive your experience, where they're getting stuck, and key ways for you to improve. And to discuss this in more depth, I'm going to be talking with Loris's head of AI, Eugene Mandel, about this topic. So, Eugene, how would you define a contact driver?
So, contact driver is how the customer phrases their primary reason for contacting support today. That's the shortest definition. Uh, there are multiple names that we in the industry use for the same thing because in our industry, like many things, do not have some kind of standard taxonomy or standard name, right? So sometimes you will hear intents, like you said in the beginning, contact drivers, reasons for contact, but all of those are essentially the same thing. It's how the customer describes their primary reason that brought them to support.
So, is there any besides just being a different name? Is there any fundamental difference between a tag, an intent, and a contact driver?
So we have to talk about kind of several categories. You could say that tag is the most general description of anything, right? You create a tag, and you can mark up a conversation or a message, right? But it can mean anything. Contact driver and intents are truly the same thing. Kind of like we said, it's the customer's description of their primary reason that brought them to support. Uh, but if we talk about tags, we should talk about several categories, right? Because usually, if you start from the very beginning, there is the description by the customer why I am here. Let's say I try to log in, I can get an error message. Okay, that's their description. Then, of course, as the agent is trying to help the customer, uh, they discover the root cause that is not known to the customer. It's possible that that error message that they saw on the login page translates into some kind of known bug number 1750. Okay, that tag, of course, that cannot be understood from the customer speech because, well, why would they know that you have a bug 1750? But this is applied usually by agents as they uncover the root cause. There are all kind of other categories of tags that are applied progressively as the conversation goes through. For example, um, sometimes they're called treatment tags. Let's say when you performed an action and you want to record that action. Let's say refund was given, coupon was applied. I don't know. You maybe just apologized. Maybe you extended the trial or something like that, right? In the end, all of those tags, both contact drivers and all other categories, are used for one thing. They provide a way to organize conversations into some kind of units of analysis so that you can analyze your data and improve your processes.
Got it. So, it does seem like an important analysis for a customer service operation. It also seems like a lot of work, a lot of work, to be frank. So, how do you justify the effort you need to put in order to uncover these contact drivers for a given business?
It is a lot of work, but the value is there. So, our assumption is that any CX department is in the process of continuous improvement that goes like that. You want to reduce the cost of support to your company. Now, reduce cost of support can be seen in the kind of immediate way where, well, you want fewer conversations, you want shorter conversations, but also you can talk about reducing costs in a broader, actually more interesting, more business impactful way. Um, Reducing cost to your reputation, reducing churn, reducing refunds, increasing revenue, right? So, I mean, this is one of the uh, things the most exciting in customer support and CX in general, right? Is that every action, every success can be linked to an important business outcome for the entire company. So in our case, contact drivers. So when you want to analyze um, opportunities for improvements and then improve them, contact drivers provide one of the most effective grouping of conversations. Here's why. Uh, a good contact driver tells you a story of what did the customer want and what prevented them from achieving their goal. If you know that, you can easily identify who in the company is accountable for this, who in the company can be responsible for addressing this, and what can be done to address this. Maybe it's worth even to take an example, right?
Yeah, no,
So
that'd be great. I was going to say, if you have any use cases to just give it some context, that would be great.
perfect. So, well, many companies have like affiliate marketing programs, right? So let's say you uncovered that there are conversations related to your affiliate marketing program. So you created a tag, a contact driver, affiliate program issues. On one hand, it's useful to know that maybe half of your support volume is about your affiliate program, but then who is who is accountable for this? Okay, who is accountable for this? Probably head of marketing, because that's where affiliate marketing usually lies with. Uh, who is responsible to fix the problem? Well, you can't say because you don't know what the problem is. So in this case, it's not specific enough to be useful. However, imagine that you drop a couple of levels into in specificity, and under the big hat of affiliate marketing issues, there are people like customer or like partner failed to sign up for the affiliate marketing program because got an error on screen, or affiliate active affiliate marketing partners failed to get money into their account, or they failed to get a third party widget to deploy somewhere, right? Each one of those three examples meet the criteria of okay, I understand who is accountable, head of marketing, I understand what happened, and because I understand what happened, I can see who can be responsible in the company for fixing this, right? Is it a technical issue? Is it a financial issue? Is it a content issue? So that actually kind of shows you how the more specific you can get, the better your grouping of contact drivers is.
Yeah. Yeah, and I mean, when organizations are so focused on customer experience, understanding just at that first level, where do I route? What's the issue, and who owns it, and where do I route it? Is huge. So, how would you advise a company to get started implementing this approach in their customer service and customer experience organization?
So uh, most CX organizations that we are familiar with, they start this journey by creating some kind of taxonomy, like a hierarchy of tags, and training their agents to apply those tags manually, right? So they literally ask the agent, okay, before starting the conversation or after finishing the conversation, you don't close the ticket. Before you create, actually, that's another name, like a disposition for the ticket. That's yet another name for the same thing. What caused the customer to get to support? When those tags are applied, you can start analyzing this data, right? You can start analyzing, well, uh, which issues are going up, which issues are going down, which issues can be correlated to lower CSAT, loss of revenue. You can even start analyzing downstream, like do customers churn after having a particular issue. However, manual tagging of contact drivers is very difficult because so anytime anytime we talk about tags and taxonomy, you get two people in the room, they will sometimes disagree on what it means. Okay, so when you let's say uh, I'm trying to get a refund and I can't log in. Okay, so is the primary contact driver the refund or the inability to log in, or both? Right? So imagine that you have to train your agents to be this kind of uh, librarian kind of library science types
Hmm.
that discover all of those types, right? Um, Sometimes agents will forget. Sometimes agents will mistag. And in any kind of analysis, the cliche "garbage in, garbage out" is true because, well, it's a cliche, but it's true. And you will have to deal with this. Uh, so our solution for this is actually purely technological, and I think this is the future. Because in the latest developments in AI, particularly in natural language AI, it is possible to train models that by reading customer speech, they can understand um, what they're talking about. And if you train a model that can predict whether basically which contact driver out of a known list appears or doesn't appear in a particular message or in a particular conversation.
Got it. So, how, when an organization is looking at this, how dynamic should an approach be? Like, how often should they update their contact drivers? How often should they do this analysis?
So I would say, like, a general answer would be at the speed of your business, right? But the speed of the business is like it varies from company to company, right? Because if you're in a very kind of steady, settled market where you, I don't know, sell chairs, I don't think chairs changed much in the last 200 years, and they probably will not change much in the next 200 years. However, if you're in some kind of in a technological market where everything changes fast, like if you're selling any software, features are added. When features are added, bugs appear. Your audience keeps changing. So it is actually extremely important that this analysis is not done just once, but it's a continuous process. I've seen companies do it like some kind of monthly review of tags. Sometimes even this is not fast enough, right? Because this kind of analysis is a very efficient way to discover emerging contact drivers or emerging issues. And when you in CX become the bearer of those news, um, you actually fulfill one of the best promises that CX has. It's not just a cost center where you simply process, incoming calls, but you become the source of invaluable information and insights for the rest of your company. Look what I discovered. Did you know that we have a new problem? Customers misunderstand something, or you can discover a new bug, or you can discover that customers are unhappy about some policy of yours that actually causes them to go to your competitor. This is the gold that you can find in CX in support data.
Sure, definitely. So, the last question for you. We can't have any kind of conversation without talking about generative AI. It's not allowed. So is this something that is as good as generative AI? Could generative AI do this better? Are there any shortcomings? Like, how would you frame these two approaches?
Uh, Generative AI is as hyped as it is, it's real, as long as you know its limitations and you know how to deal with them. So we actually are using some aspects of generative AI in our subsystem that creates contact drivers and predicts them. And it's actually a very interesting use case. So when we talked about good contact drivers being very specific, where you can tell the story. So to me, what does it mean, a story of a contact driver? Usually it can be put in two parts. What did the customer want, and what problems they experienced? So goals and problems. um, I wanted to sign up, goal, but I got an error message, XYZ, problem. um, or if I'm saying that, let's say, I don't know, well, I'm having a kid's birthday party. I ordered pizza. Pizza arrived cold. Okay, so you have goals, ordering pizza, you have problem, it arrived cold, everything else is kind of context. um, and extracting those parts is extremely efficient way to kind of focus on very actionable contact drivers. Extracting those parts, it's actually something we're using generative AI for, and it's very very good about it as long as you know how to kind of how to build guardrails for it, because
Mhm.
well, that's probably a whole other conversation, but when generative AI starts hallucinating, it's a wonderful comedy show. However, you don't want this comedy show when you're doing something serious in your business.
Yeah. Yeah. Customers don't like being the butt of the joke usually. So, yeah, I hear
Exactly.
you there. So, thank you, Eugene, for letting us pick your brain. And be sure to check out the other videos in our series to learn more about AI and customer experience and to see how we're putting these ideas to work. You can always visit us at loris.ai. Thank you, Eugene.
Thank you.